Two quick reminders before I get started. First, people of all genders fall into bias traps, not just men. Second, knowing that unconscious bias exists isn't enough. We need to look for it and commit to taking steps to counteract it. Performance bias is based on deep-rooted assumptions about women's and men's abilities. We tend to underestimate women's performance and overestimate men's performance. As a result, women often have to accomplish more to show they're equally as competent as men. This is why studies show women are often hired based on past accomplishments. We need to see proof they have the right skills. And men are often hired based on future potential. We already assume they have the skills they need. To understand the impact of performance bias, consider what happens when you remove gender from decision making. When 10 major US orchestras use blind auditions, the odds of women making it past the first round improved by 50%. And replacing a woman's name with a man's name on a resume improves the odds of getting hired by more than 50%. And study after study shows the same pattern. Performance bias can have a big impact during hiring and performance reviews. It is even more pronounced when the criteria for reviews are unclear, which leaves room for individuals to rely on gut feelings and personal inferences, which of course means bias is more likely to influence their decisions. In one study, resumes for candidates for police chief were written, so one version was heavy on street smarts and the other was heavy on school smarts. When people were asked to define the hiring criteria for the job in advance, so before seeing the resumes, there was no bias against female candidates. But when they saw the resumes first, they ended up favoring whatever type of experience the male candidate had. So they valued street smarts when the male candidate had street smarts and school smarts when the male candidate had school smarts. In other words, evaluators shifted the criteria around, so what ended up mattering was whatever experience the male candidate had. Performance bias often leads to missed opportunities and lower performance ratings for women, and both can have a huge impact on women's career progression. Now you know how performance bias works. As a next step, you can use our bias cards to learn specific ways it shows up in the workplace and what to do about it.